Hello guys, welcome to Guitar Paradiso. I'm Pete.
I'm Mick, hello and welcome. So, Peter.
Yes, Mick. What have we got? We have got the Van Weelden. Is it Van Weelden?
Van Weelden, yeah.
Van Weelden.
He's from the Netherlands.
He's from the Netherlands.
Holland. So W's are the same as V's as far as pronunciation.
Van Weelden.
Van Weelden.
Van Weelden.
So,
Royal Overdrive.
Mr. Van Weelden, Peter Van Weelden is very well known for his high-end amplifiers.
Yes.
And I don't think you'll mind us saying inspired by the whole Dumble lineage.
Yeah.
His most famous customer is probably Joe Bonamassa, who used Van Weelden amps a lot.
Yeah. I've watched a few videos of him with he plays them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And a good friend of ours, Virgil McMahon of Virgil and the Accelerators, has just recently got a Van Weelden.
Okay.
And I'm banging his door down trying to get him to come in and
can we try it out, please?
get a listen.
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter makes very high-end, hand-wired, custom-ordered amplifiers.
Yeah.
Very much
wait for quite a long time to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, with all the custom options that come with ordering a custom amplifier.
Yeah.
So to make that sound, or part of that sound, a little bit more accessible to the rest of us, he's also made this, the Royal Overdrive.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to be completely honest and say that we started a video about a week ago.
Yep.
And kind of, we weren't struggling to get a good sound. We got an amazing sound straight off the bat.
Yeah, yeah.
However, just getting our head around, I'm talking about with one person.
Yeah. Like we have one head together, but that's sometimes what it feels like.
We're not married yet, mate.
No. Why, you something you want to ask me?
Not on the air.
No. Okay. Yes,
and so rather than carry on, I went back to Peter, phoned him up and said, look, Peter, some of these modes sound, there's a bit of background noise and a bit of hiss and all of that. Is it right? Are we hearing the right thing? And he said, absolutely you are.
Yeah.
In brackets, you should have read the manual.
Yeah. No, but we did have a little look at the manual, and it did say there were the modes, and there's a bright switch here, and there's suggestions in the manual of which mode goes with which amp.
Yeah, that's the point. This is not an amp this is not a pedal where you go tweak, tweak, tweak. I'm going to use 15 different combinations of these switches. It's where you go, right, this pedal is designed to be used with any amp. Because the problem with a lot of pedals is, you know, take our old friend the Tube Screamer. Yeah. Always sounds good into Fender amps. Yeah. Sometimes sounds good into Marshall amps, but because of the bass roll-off and the mid-scoop, the mid-push, it doesn't work as well in Marshalls. And there's loads of pedals we could name that kind of work better with a particular amp and less good with other amps. Yeah. So Peter's gone, right, if you're flying around the world, such as some of his artists do, and need a great sound into any amp, you can spend a few minutes just tweaking this to get yourself a really high headroom, super picking dynamics, all that stuff that is unusual out of pedals. So it sounds like an amp. And that's the whole point of the Royal Overdrive.
You kind of have to tweak it to the amp it's plugged into. You can't sort of just click it and have an A/B switch. We're using an A/B switch because we're going to show you how it sounds in these two amps, but we'll have to tweak it to sound into one amp, and then we'll have to go how it sounds into the Marshall.
Yeah, to get
and that's the point of it. So you don't just go, I'm going to use that now without setting it. You have to kind of but you will get the great sound out of when you spend a little time tweaking it, you know.
So we've got two what you might call classic amps, 65 twin reverb reissue. Yep. Which has plenty of clean headroom until you turn it up really loud. Yeah. So it's set on, what's it set on? 4. It's pretty loud.
That's pretty loud in here. Yeah. It is pretty loud.
Well, and that sounds like this.
Are you?
Am I in? So that's what that sounds like. And we've got a JCM800. You might say that we should have had a Plexi, but because of the Black Friday sale,
they're all
completely sold out.
We couldn't find one.
So we've used an 800, but we've got it set very low on the preamp and quite high on the master, so it's set to a clean sound. And that sounds like this. Spiky.
That's very spiky, isn't it? Jeez, that scared me a little bit when I played.
Yeah, pretty spiky sound. So I think what we're going to prove is that once you get this plugged in, things can change quite radically.
Yeah.
So let's begin and say that everything here is fairly self-explanatory. On off, and there's a separate mid boost which kicks in more mid frequencies.
With a separate gain boost knob.
With an extra gain, yeah. So that gives you a little bit more gain. And these are the switches that really matter. So when you're setting it up with your amp, you need to just find the optimum position. Now I'm going to demonstrate how that works.
Yeah.
So Pete, plug into the Fender.
Okay. Okay. So
And this is real world. This is real world, right? So we're going to show you warts and all what happens.
Yeah.
Because this will be your experience as a composer.
Okay.
So so basically, the manual says find the combination of the mode switch and the bright switch that works best with your amp. So let's start with A1. Hang on, got to turn it on.
Yep.
So let's turn the guitar down.
Yep.
What you'll hear there is quite a lot of background hiss. This will make it less bright. It will also pop. Oh no, it didn't pop that time. A lot of that hiss has gone away.
Hiss has gone away.
Not much hiss at all.
No.
Mode B. Bit of hiss.
Yeah.
No hiss.
Yeah. Hiss.
Bit of hiss. So
hiss.
rather than, so I asked Peter that. I said, look, Peter, in some of the modes it kind of hisses a bit. He said, yeah. What do you expect? This is a extremely touch sensitive, extremely high headroom, extremely pick dynamic sensitive pedal.
Yeah.
So to get your optimum sound, yes, there are some sounds that aren't going to work for you.
And it will pop and it'll hiss and it won't work with a certain amp. So you probably go, whoa, I don't know why. What is this? This shouldn't be.
So straight off the bat, you've got to get out of your head how you would normally approach a distortion pedal, and come to this like a complete front end for your amp, and start from scratch.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? Let's. So here we are in. This is what we would call a quiet mode, and this is the sound we've got.
Front pickup as well, just on the front pickup. So
put it on the back. Yeah, so for me that's sounding pretty dark. So let's go to the next next option. Let's go 3.
3.
Yeah.
You can hear the hiss there.
Yeah, keep going.
See? Already there, I'm getting excited.
That.
Because you're like, Sorry. Wow. So it's, and just to hear the hiss there, so there's not very much now, is there? After that amazing sound which we just experienced.
Yeah, but it is there. There is a bit of hiss.
There's a little bit, but it's not much. It's nothing you would hear when. It's nothing you wouldn't expect from having an overdrive pedal into an amp, or having an amp set loud on the gain, or turned up. You wouldn't. Most things.
Yeah.
When you get that sort of sound, which both of us just went, hello. That sound will give you some hiss, but when you play it, you won't hear it.
Let me hear it with the Strat.
Yeah,
so same amp.
Same amp.
Same settings. That is so... I can't tell you What a cool sound that is.
That is very cool. I really hope that you will hear what we're experiencing in this room right now, because this is very exciting for me as well.
That is a cool sound. Right.
Anyway.
Without further ado, let's do exactly what we just did into the Marshall.
Okay, so switch over to the Marshall.
Yeah, there might be some ear popping.
Yeah, you will get some piercing pops.
And I'm gonna do my best not to take those out of the edit, because
or maybe turn it down so at least people's eyes don't fall out. But
so come on then, remember that the Marshall is set really spiky.
Yeah. We don't need to hear any more of that. Thank you.
So this is the same sound that we have with the Fender. Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep playing.
Hang on. I'll just stop there and say that don't do this at the volume we're doing it.
No,
because it's not very sensible.
No.
Anyway,
my ears and my heart.
Wait! Keep
up, man.
Keep going.
I'm scared to keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, sorry. That almost sounds like a cute wah, doesn't it? Cocked wah.
And just to remind you the original sound of the Marshall. Right, so I think what we've proved straight off the bat is there's enough. So on the upside, there is enough tonal complexity in that and power of EQ, and I'm assuming that these switches control all kinds of impedances and all of that.
Also, there's an 18. It can take 9, 18, and 12 volts, and then
we're running 18.
We're running an 18 at the moment to get more headroom, and my good lord, I'm still shocked from that experience.
So I think the point is you can plug that into any amp, and Peter does suggest that you plug it into a clean amp, not a dirty amp.
Yeah.
And tame a really spiky sounding amp into something very fat and full sounding.
And it doesn't even. Can we try to take the gain down a bit to see if we can get some clean, maybe cleaner tones out of it? So it's not.
Let's do it. So gain boost mode, mid boost off. It's all there.
Yeah, everything is there in the pedal. You have to spend time with it. It's one of these things. But when you get it right, then by George, some might say.
Humbuckers.
Should we do a humbucker? Let's humbugger it.
Yeah, I want to.
Humbuggering.
This. I like this guitar.
It's good.
By the way, these are Fender
Post Modern Journeyman.
Post Modern Journeymans. Yeah. We've used them in various videos, but because we like them.
We like them a lot. This is the standard 335, about 2005, I think.
So immediately that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better into the, or cleaner. It's not as spiky.
Yeah.
Into the Marshall.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So we'll stay with the same setting we were on
The
before.
face. I'm gonna
Turn it down a bit. Sorry. Play some blues on the neck pickup. Nice.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
just try that exactly same sound with the telly.
Yep.
Can I do that?
There you go.
Yeah. So immediately you can hear how much harder the humbuckers are pushing it.
Yeah, it pushes hard, doesn't it?
Yeah. And with that in mind, obviously this is a very guitar-friendly pedal because it's going to keep your guitar sounding
like a guitar should sound. So it does really sound good, doesn't it?
Once again, yeah.
It does really sound good. Great, I think.
It's certainly. I mean,
all of these things that now you can see that we're doing with the popping, we switched the modes over and the bright switch.
And we don't want to gloss over any of that stuff because that's the experience you're going to have as a customer. And I think there are some other demos of this pedal out there that sound fantastic, and I think what they've done is gone through the setup process.
Yeah, but you can, because it does sound that good.
It does sound fantastic.
So it does sound that good.
Yeah.
But if you don't take the time to sit down and actually get that sound, then you're just gonna. It could confuse. I can imagine like us the first time going, "What's this?" You know, when you think I'm really excited about this pedal, and you have to spend the time with it. That's what we want to get across to you out there. That actually, if you want to buy one of these pedals, it's not just a buy and plug in kind of thing, is it? You have to.
Yeah, you got it.
But it will reward you if you do. Yeah. Because it's an absolutely fantastic thing, I must say.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put this through that by clicking here. Sorry.
Okay, this is going to be one of those.
What have you got there?
My PRS DGT, let's try this. So same sound, you were with the 335 there, that was sounding pretty fat, wasn't it?
Fat!
Yeah. Sorry for all the high fret whittling stuff, but I think what the articulation and the it's there.
It's there, isn't it?
It's
is that sort of
absolutely there.
when you do those high notes, when you do and you hold the note and it just it doesn't feed back. You know what I mean? It doesn't. It's more of a sustained sort of thing. That's what I get from the KTR, from McClun, or from Cluns. That they give you that sort of a really good pedals to give you that. When you do that, you just have that sort of sustained, not feedback, but it just keeps it sustained.
I just want to try and knock the volume knob down a little bit and just see.
Knock it up.
So here's where we were. And the lick that you keep nicking off me.
But because it's a good one, so I have to.
Well, you heard it with the Strat, you heard it with the Telly, you heard it with the PRS DGT.
You heard it with a 335.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we kind of have it. It is a great pedal. If you do decide to go and try one out in the shop, be prepared to spend a little time with it.
Yeah, and most important of all, if you can try it with something approaching your amp.
Yes, you almost kind of have to use it with your amp at home, because if you do go into a shop and you plug it in and you get a great sound, that's not, and you sing at home with those settings, they probably won't work with your amp unless you've got exactly the same amp, of course.
Actually, there is one final thing I want to do.
Okay, definitely. This is what we're here for. We are to try.
Because, I mean, we have done all the high gain things, so let's...
Yeah, we did a tiny bit of the
I want to try the Strat, again with the Fender.
Yeah.
But just, again with the Fender Twin, just to see if we can... So...
Fender tone, lovely.
Twin reverb,
Twin reverb, sounds beautiful.
So let's get a lot less gain going on.
Yeah. Off.
Bit less reverb. Mid control is very powerful.
Very, very powerful. That's the mid that guitar players sort of seek, isn't it? To get out, to cut through.
That is a good sounding pedal.
It is a good sounding pedal. It is a very, very good sounding. But a pedal, it's more than a pedal.
It's a preamp, isn't it?
It's a preamp. It's basically it's almost more than a preamp.
But it is designed. I also asked Peter this question. It's designed to be used in the front of an amp, not in the effects loop.
Yeah.
Can use it in the effects loop, but yeah.
But you wouldn't, because it has to go in front of your amp, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, there we are.
There we are.
The Royal Overdrive by Van Weelden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this was Guitar Paradiso, and I was Pete.
And I was Mick, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.